going on out here, Arthur?
Good.
Hey, send one of them girls down when you get a chance, would you?
Shut up.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan, for sparing me like that. I'll work hard. I am not a bad fella. You'll soon warm to me.
Just see that I do.
Oh, you will.
And boy, thank you for saving my life.
Well, yeah, of course.
Mr. Morgan!
Go a step further.
Mr. Morgan!
Yes, Miss
I would
Grimshaw.
say you should get the
One of the
hell away
girls
from
saw
here.
that friend of yours, Mary Gillis, sniffing about.
Okay.
Mary.
Yes, I never liked that woman, Mr. Morgan. Funny business.
And good morning to you, or good afternoon, or
Good morning, Arthur.
good evening, whatever time it may be where you're at.
Morning.
I'm Toothpick Bill 45, and today we're going to explore the Thomas Downs Mission, also known as the mission where Arthur contracts tuberculosis. The proper name? Money lending and other sins. Now, Arthur just returned to camp from paying a social call. That's the mission where you untie Kieran from the tree, and that's when the letter appears. And eventually, we're going to have to read it. Now, as you can see, Arthur's having a hard time trying to bring up the menu to sleep or sit. That's due to the letter you see sitting on the table.
Hey, Billy.
There it is. Now, the game tries to force you to do this mission and confront Thomas Downs. It is possible to bring up the menu to sleep, but it's very difficult to get in the right position. Now, if you don't want to read the letter, you'll have to go through this each time you want to sleep in camp. But eventually, if you want to progress through the game, we're going to have to read that letter. Now, once you read it, the game tries to take control of your destiny, making sure that you contract tuberculosis from Thomas Downs, and we don't want that. Now that I've found the right spot, I'm going to rest Arthur up. So stay with me. We're going to figure this thing out.
Dear Arthur, I've written this letter 100 times or more, and I cannot get it right. It's me. You know it's me from the bad handwriting. I know I said when we last spoke, and I was going off to get married, that we would not speak again. I know I said a lot of things, and I meant them, I suppose, at the time. But I'm not so proud as to not speak to people who care for me, or cared for me. I've been in Valentine for a couple of months. I had some bad luck, and, well, it's a long story and not an interesting one. But I am here for now. I saw a couple of the girls, or whatever the polite term is for them, that ran with you and your associates in town. And I heard tell of a man who sounded like you. I would love to see you again if you could spare me a little bit of your time. I'm renting a room at Chadwick Farm, just north of Valentine. Yours, Mary Linton.
Once you're finished reading the letter, Strauss will rudely interrupt your thoughts.
Mr. Morgan, can I... Are you okay?
Yes. I was miles away, I'm afraid.
So it seems. Anyway, it's that fellow Downs.
The, do-gooder?
Exactly. We lent him quite a sum. It seems like he has little intention of repaying us. He was quite ridiculous when I went to see him. You've not been to see him yet, I take it?
I'm sorry, Herr Strauss. Had a lot on. I'll go give him a gentle reminder.
Not so gentle. I don't like his kind. Superior.
As you wish.
Well, as you can see, Strauss is quite persistent. I think he may need a not-so-gentle reminder about who's in charge around here.
Dear Arthur, I've written this letter 100 times or more, and I cannot get it right. It's me.
Mr. Morgan, can I... Are you okay?
Yes. I was miles away, I'm afraid.
So it seems. Anyway, it's that fellow Downs.
The, do-gooder?
Exactly.
Now, as you can see on the map, all the other missions are gone. Save the Thomas Downs Ranch mission, which is marked in the upper left by a yellow area with a big black X in the middle. So I figured I'd head that way and see if we can possibly cancel the mission from the ranch. Let's see what happens. Wait, what happened? Well, I actually rode off in a different direction. So I'll just retry checkpoint and try again. Let's try and see if there's a way to cancel the mission from the ranch without actually contracting tuberculosis from Thomas Downs. And once again, no other options but the Thomas Downs Ranch. Let's set a waypoint and head back to the ranch. Let's try this one more time. As you can see, the game is trying to force you to do this mission. You can't free roam, which you noticed in my earlier attempt. I really don't want to contract tuberculosis, as I'm sure you don't either. So we're going to head back to the ranch and see what happens.
Yeah. Mr. Thomas Downs?
Yep, that's me.
You owe me money.
Oh, no, I'm... I said I would get the money, and I will. Just, I can't for a while.
Okay then, how about we subtract the cost of one lantern?
We've got nothing, sir.
Hey, don't make me shoot the scarecrow.
But when we have something, it will be yours.
Well, how about I put a hole in your hat?
That debt weighs on me heavily. It's going to be paid.
The next one goes in your head. Don't make me shoot the rake.
You won't find anything on this property.
And you can subtract the cost of one rake. That's a tough rake.
The debt will be paid when I can pay it, sir. There's nothing more I can say.
Oh, come here, you maggot.
Please, sir. I'll...
Really? Threaten me, would you?
Please. I have a family, sir. Please.
I don't
Can't
care
use the mask.
about your family.
Maybe I'll threaten you to death.
Why'd it have to come to this, huh?
Believe me, sir. I didn't want this either.
You ain't such a do-gooder, are you? If you're running out on debts...
I'm not running anywhere. I'm doing my best for you.
You are a slippery little bastard. But I got you now.
Please, show some compassion. Please.
Strauss told me you needed a beating. You saying he was right?
What will that solve?
Beating downs will only result in contracting
We
TB,
took your word.
so that's not an option.
Now we'll take your hide. Pay the money, you'll make this stop. If I'm here, there's a reason I'm here. Now, wouldn't paying up have been a little easier? How's that debt looking now? Your debt's caught you, mister. And it ain't letting go.
As you can see, threats didn't work. So I think I'll just run away. Nothing seems to work here at the ranch. Come on, Rabbit. Let's get out of here. Look, there's some water right there. Let's go fishing. Fishing usually clears my head. Give me a chance to think about it. Nope. But there's a new option to skip checkpoint. That may be a trick. Let me try to retry checkpoint one more time. Right back where we were with Thomas Downs.
Why'd it have to come to this, huh?
Believe me, sir. I didn't want this either.
Let's get out of here and try something else.
I'm working.
Look, there's a gate. Maybe that'll cancel the mission. Well, that didn't work. How about this bull? Well, that didn't work either. He doesn't seem to care. Starting to run out of breath. But there must be a way. Maybe it's over that hill. And to be honest, I'm growing quite weary. And I'm getting desperate. Well, that didn't seem to work either. Look, there's a new option to skip checkpoint. Let's try that and see what happens. And skipping the checkpoint doesn't work.
You borrowed money from my business partner, Herr Strauss. You owe him, you took the money. He wants it back. What's not to understand?
Well, that can't be good.
Where's our money?
I don't have it.
Sell your place.
We already owe more than it's worth.
Then sell your wife, or your family, or something. We ain't your idea of charity. Is that clear?
Thomas!
What are you looking at?
Thomas!
I said what you looking at, woman.
My husband isn't well. If we could just have more...
Like I said, we ain't nobody's idea of charity. Get us the money.
I must admit, old Arthur can be quite harsh sometimes, when he has to be. That surprised me. And the game goes into a cutscene, and Arthur rides back to camp, unknowingly having contracted tuberculosis. Now, I think Strauss knew Thomas Downs' condition, sending Arthur into a dangerous situation knowingly.
Ah, how did you get on?
Not so good.
What do you think?
He's almost dead. And they seem more or less destitute. You were a fool for lending them the money.
Well, people who aren't desperate don't seem so interested in my propositions.
Of course.
And that's that. If you continue the game as is, Arthur's going to grow weaker by the day until eventually TB catches up with him and takes his life. Turns out there is a way to cancel the Thomas Downs mission, at least temporarily. Let's explore that option. Here's what you do. Let's get started. First, read the Mary Linton letter. Do not get impatient and click the put away option. Wait until Mary's finished reading the letter. It's like a nightmare I can't wake up from.
Dear Arthur, I've written this letter 100 times or more, and I cannot get it right. It's me. You know it's me from the bad handwriting. I know I said when we last spoke, and I was going off to get married, that we would not speak again. I know I said a lot of things, and I meant them, I suppose, at the time. But I'm not so proud as to not speak to people who care for me, or cared for me. I've been in Valentine for a couple of months. I had some bad luck, and, well, it's a long story and not an interesting one. But I am here for now. I saw a couple of the girls, or whatever the polite term is for them, that ran with you and your associates in town. And I heard tell of a man who sounded like you. I would love to see you again if you could spare me a little bit of your time. I'm renting a room at Chadwick Farm, just north of Valentine. Yours, Mary Linton.
Don't click put away. Instead, go to the settings menu and make sure autosave is turned on. I play with autosave off. So you turn autosave on, go back to the menu and continue the game. And once again, Strauss will interrupt you.
Mr. Morgan, can I... Are you okay?
Yes. I was miles away, I'm afraid.
So it seems. Anyway, it's that fellow Downs.
The, do-gooder?
Exactly. We lent him quite a sum. It seems like he has little intention of repaying us. He was quite ridiculous when I went to see him. You've not been to see him yet, I take it?
I'm sorry, Herr Strauss. Had a lot on. I'll go give him a gentle reminder.
Not so gentle. I don't like his kind. Superior.
As you wish.
Now, once Strauss is finished needling you about the Thomas Downs estate and collecting that money,
How are you?
wait for him to disappear around the back of the tent.
Oh.
Then go back to the menu. Go to the load game options and load the autosave. The game autosaves automatically after Strauss is finished talking. This is a very important step. Once the game loads again, you'll be back at camp. As you can see, the only option is Thomas Downs. So what to do? I'll tell you what to do. Get back on your horse, ride out of camp. Don't worry, we've got a plan. This time, ride off in the opposite direction.
Yep.
Away from the Thomas Downs estate. Don't worry, that was supposed to happen. Click retry checkpoint. When the game continues this time, you'll find yourself placed right outside the Thomas Downs Ranch, marked by a large yellow area. Don't ride forward. Turn around and ride in the opposite direction. Don't ride off the cliff. There's no need to kill you and your horse. Instead, veer right, go down the ravine. And head towards the river. Now you have the option to cancel the mission. Click Cancel Mission. When the game continues, you'll be outside the Thomas Downs estate once again. But where's my horse? He's got to be around here somewhere. It's like waking up from camping, but you don't have to stomp out a campfire and dirty up your boots. But unlike breaking down a camp, you got to look for your horse. Howdy, partner. Looks like I'm going to have to get a new horse. This one, it's always running off. There he is. And that's it. As you can see, the missions are back on the map. Now you can play the game uninterrupted, at least for the most part. You can finish all 90 challenges in Chapter 2. Eventually, you'll have to go back to the Thomas Downs estate. But at least for now, you're free to enjoy the game uninterrupted by Strauss and his obsession with Thomas Downs. Well, I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed the video, make sure and throw a comment down below, like, and even subscribe. Any suggestions for more videos in the future, drop them in the comments. I'm Toothpick Bill 45. Until next time, keep your pistol wet and your powder dry. Thanks for watching. Man, the horseflies are bad out here.